This figure has horizontal lines and hatch patterns, as well as a couple of vertical lines. One thing to note is the hatch pattern should be in a different color on a different layer. So the first thing to do is to create a new layer by going to the Layer Properties Manager, which is in the Layers palette. So click on that, and you may find you have different layers than I have, but don't worry. All we have to do is to create a new layer. So move the mouse over to the New Layer button and click. Now type hatch for the name of the layer. Move the mouse over to the right. When it is under the color for that layer, that little box of color at the moment is white, so click on that, and click on green, which is what is supposed to be. Click OK. So we now have a hatch layer which is green. So close the Layer Properties Manager. Before we draw, make sure the active layer is 0. That's where all the lines should go. The base point is 0,250. So we go to the line command, click on that, and type 0,250. Press enter. So this is the start point of the first line. And we can't see it because it's underneath the screen. So we have to pan the screen. So I will use the mouse wheel, click on that and drag, put it up. I will place it towards the top half of the screen. So now make sure the polar tracking is on. So horizontal line can be seen very easily because when the mouse is level, the dotted line comes up. So now it is, and all I have to do is to type the length of this line, which is 200. Press enter, and now we have a line 200 long. Press enter again to clear it. Now to draw other lines, it's easier to simply use offset command, and that's what I'm going to do. So click on that, offset, and type in the distance between the lines. So the first distance is 35, so type 35, press enter. Click on the first line, move the mouse down, make sure it's all clear from the first line, and click. Now we have the second line, which is 35 south of the first line. So click the second line now and move the mouse down to another 35 apart. The system does it for you, so just click anywhere. You see the third line is done. Now we have to clear the offset command to draw the fourth line because the offset distance is different this time. So press escape and click offset again, or just press spacebar. This time type in the distance of 19. So type 19, press enter. Click on the third line, drag it down. We can see this gap is closer because it's only 19 instead of 35. Now press escape to clear this offset command. We have to start this again for the very last line at the bottom. So click offset command. Distance this time is 30. So type 30, press enter. Click on the fourth line and move down again and click. Okay, now we have the shape of the object all done. So escape to clear offset. Now what's missing are these two lines, kind of in the middle, the two vertical lines. We can't have them yet because if we think about the hatching, we need to have boundaries to be close before we hatch. So I'm going to do two vertical lines and then do the two shorter lines in the middle. Okay, so go to line command and make sure the object snap endpoint setting is on, so I can snap to the endpoint of the first line, also to the endpoint of the bottom line. Now press spacebar now to clear the line command. I press spacebar again, so it snaps onto the endpoint of the top line. Drag it down to the endpoint of the bottom line. Click and press spacebar. This time I'm going to use offset to draw the two vertical lines. You can also use other ways of doing it, like extension, and you can position your mouse exactly 35 away from the edge. But if I were to use Object Snap, then you have to change the settings, clear all other settings, otherwise it may confuse AutoCAD. So I will use offset here, so click on offset, distance this time is 35, press enter, click on the line and move the mouse to the right, do it again, click on the line and move it to the right again. Now press escape. I need to get rid of those bits of lines which we don't need, so click on trim and click on the right of the object and move the mouse so the whole object is wiped. Click now, press space bar to clear the selection, to complete the selection, and now use the left click to trim the lines that we don't need, so we're trimming those. Now we notice that the two lines that we can't remove, so don't panic. All we do is press escape and use the mouse to pick those two lines and click the delete key on the keyboard. So it's all done. Now we're ready to do the hatching. Move the mouse over, and when you see the down arrow for the layers, click on that and move the mouse onto the hatch word. Click, and now we are on the hatch layer. So whatever we draw now will go on to the hatch layer. So move the mouse to the hatch button, click on that. We need to assign the right hatch pattern, which is NC33 to begin with, so click on that. And we see now this is NC33. This pattern matches the pattern that goes on the top one, so click on 33. The scale should be 2, so if it is not 2, type 2 and press enter. Hover the mouse over to the first area, and now the hatch patterns can be seen. So click on that. We have just assigned the first hatch pattern. Press escape, and we've just done the first one. Click the hatch pattern again. Now we choose this time round NC32. The scale remains as 2, so we don't need to change that. Hover the mouse over to this little square and click once. Move the mouse over to the long rectangle, click again, and we finish the second pattern by pressing escape. Move again, click on the hatch again. Choose this time pattern is NC37, so click down arrow, pick NC37. The scale is 6.5, so we have to edit that. Type 6.5, press enter. Move the mouse to the last box at the bottom and click. Press escape. We're nearly done. Now don't forget to delete the two end vertical lines. They're temporary there for creating the hatching boundary, so click on that, delete and delete. Now before we continue, make sure we switch the layer back to layer 0, otherwise whatever we draw from now on will be on the hatch layer. So click 0 and that's done.